Welcome to the Honolulu Cheese Podcast, the pretty much #1 NFC North podcast. I'm your host, Matt. Joining me as always, my co-hosts, Ryan and Moran. Fellas, how we doing? 4th of July is in the books. I want to see 10 fingers from everyone. Let me see them.
Got him. Thank
Got
God.
them. Moran, all 10? Perfect. You guys were safe out there. Moran, I saw you had an interesting 4th of July weekend. You went up to Green Bay. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
Outside of football season for God knows what reason.
I could be wrong here, and I did not fact check this, but I did see online Moran is the first person in the history of the world to go to Green Bay not for a football game.
Yeah,
How
brother.
does that feel, Moran, to be a record breaker?
It feels great, and I'm not only a fan from September to February, brother. So that's home. That's home away from home.
Home away from home.
I had a great time. I mean, everyone's making fun of me, but like, would you rather me stay in Michigan and go to Torch Lake? Like, I'm good.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm-
But
Any day of the week.
I'm good. I had a great time.
I love a Torch Lake now and again. I've never been, I don't think. But Higgins Lake, beautiful.
Moran
Caribbean.
mentions up north in Michigan like it's not one of the funnest trips you'll ever take.
I
as a
know.
comparison.
People are just sleeping on it. It's the
I
greatest.
mean, I love up north, but I can go up north any day or any weekend, literally. So I had a good time. I was living luxurious for 2 days, seeing
that
my
hotel
people.
you stayed at, I saw some pictures. That's like, can you stay there during games? Obviously, it's just probably
it's-
astronomical.
It is. It's 3,000 for 3 nights, game week.
Okay, and it's 3-night minimum.
Yeah.
Woo, that's pricey.
So
Can't beat that though.
So I was talking to my wife. If I went with 4 guys, I'd pay it. It's worth it.
So that begs the question: you go on a trip as an adult male, Moran. You're what, 35?
36.
We're doing four grown men in a hotel room.
Yeah, I mean, as long as everyone wears the right stuff, everything's gonna be fine.
What's the wrong stuff?
I got to a point in my life, this happened maybe 7 years ago on a trip to Vegas, where I was like, most times I'll be fine with sharing a room with one other person. I need my own bed.
Absolutely.
Maybe I need my own room.
No, that's too much.
Brother, I'm too old to function if I don't get good sleep.
That's fair.
I'm with Matt on that. I don't want to be getting kicked in the middle of the night by a guy
No,
I've
I'm
known
not.
for 15 years.
I'm not gonna sleep next to anyone, but I can share a room with someone.
But there's only 2
yeah.
beds. So you got
There's-
to somewhere.
I'm not a fan of sharing a bathroom with 3 other adults. Like,
No,
I'm just not.
There's 2 bathrooms. There was 2 bathrooms.
Oh, that's fucking fancy.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Very cool. Very cool. But you had a good time?
Yeah. Yeah. I had. Man, I was telling you guys about this the other day. I had a Kringle. You guys got to get yourself a Kringle. They ship, by the way. Uncle Mike. Shout out Uncle Mike's Bake Shop. Voted
For
best
the-
Kringle in North America.
For those of us who don't know, give us the breakdown on a Kringle. What is that? Is it a donut
So-
family? Is it more of a croissant?
No, so it's a Danish. Shout out my wife. She found it on TikTok. And it's a Danish times like 2,000. It's literally like the size of this flag behind you. So you can get half-sies. So we got a half, and I regret that we got a half because we already finished it. But yeah.
So we brought it home. Love that.
Yeah, but
All right, and
but they ship.
And Moran, you told us you went to the pro shop and had a nice time. We're going to play a little over-under. Me and Ryan are going to guess your total amount spent at the pro shop. Price is Right rules. Closest without going over. Loser has to Venmo the winner, Ryan, $1 American.
Okay, I'm for this. I have one question. Do we get to know what Moran purchased?
No.
Or we're
No.
just taking a blind guess?
Blind
blind
guess.
Shit.
Here, I'll make it a little bit easier. I didn't purchase any jerseys.
Okay, that's what I was wondering, because I was like, that obviously hikes the price up. Okay, go ahead, Matt. I know my brother.
Say $397.
Should I do the bullshit Your Price is Right thing and say 398?
You could, but that would be loser talk.
It would be. All right. Let's see. Moran has his wife and daughter, who he definitely shopped for. I think Moran spent 397 on himself, bro. I'm gonna say 500.
5 even. Moran, give us the total.
692.
Let's go.
That is a heck of a trip. And shout out to the great economy of Wisconsin. Moran,
You dropped 692 at the
And
pro shop. You're insane.
I do want to tell a story, and if I go to jail, I understand. So I bought a lanyard. Well, I picked up a lanyard. They're like $5. You know, the one you put your keys on. You know what the lanyards are, obviously. And I'm walking like with it, and I have the shirts in my hand, and Mira, my daughter, keeps grabbing it. And she keeps throwing it, grabbing it, throwing it, grabbing it, throwing it. So I put it in my pocket. I paid for everything. I get to the car, and I'm like, oh, shit. I forgot to pay for the lanyard. So, little 5-finger discount on accident.
Hey, Matt, while you Venmo me that $1, can you just go ahead and call 911 so we can report this guy?
I already did. I tweeted at the FBI. I think they're watching on the live stream. We'll be able to watch Moran right here while we're live, which will be awesome.
Yeah, that's why we live stream. It's for them, by the way.
All right, boys, let's get into the nitty-gritty here. We had a couple of lists come out this week. Another slow news week. We're inching toward training camp, though. I saw yesterday 9 weeks until the Bears play on week 1. So
we are, and I must say, we're making this boring offseason entertaining, hopefully. I mean, I feel like we're doing a really good job with these shows and these topics, but
I'm having a great time.
NFL also needs to really work on their offseason, bro.
Would Ryan give himself that compliment about how well we're doing? I thought about when he sent us a message in the chat of his Washington take, and he goes, not to boast, but I really nailed this. Ryan apparently doesn't know what boasting is. Ryan, that is the definition of boasting.
Hey, Ryan is the king of blowing himself.
Bro, what? Me? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Me?
No, it's just a video that's been getting a lot of comments recently on YouTube. So I went back and watched the whole thing. And man, I was so worried about Washington heading into that game. And Moran and Jose are on here. Like, it's no problem. You know, Jose, not so much. But Moran was like, oh, you guys are going to blow them out by 20. Yeah, thanks a lot.
It worked.
Yes, go back and check out that video. It's pretty entertaining.
I knew what Moran was doing in the moment. I didn't think it was going to work, but Jaden Daniels had other plans. Okay,
yes,
so
he did.
This is first. We're going to get into a little running back rankings. So this is from an ESPN article. They interviewed 70 execs, coaches, and scouts. And they came out with a ranking of the top 10 running backs that you would want on your team for 2025. I sent this list previously to you guys in the chat, and your responses were very different. Ryan, you commented, accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Moran, you commented, this is awful. This is awful. Clap, 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 clap. So I'm going to read the 10 names, and then Moran, we're going to go to you. I want to know what about this list was awful and what you would change. The list is Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson, Christian McCaffrey, Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor, James Cook, Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara. What about that list do you like? What about that list do you not like? I also just dropped it in our script if you want to peek at it in case you didn't have it saved. What were your issues with it, Miro?
So Saquon and Derrick Henry, pretty fair to have 1-2. That's fine with me. I'm not putting a guy at third. I know Jahmyr Gibbs is very good, but I'm not putting him at third when he splits carries. I'm not doing it. Other than that, I would have Bijan over Jahmyr Gibbs.
I agree with you there. I would too. I love Gibbs, but I would. And I would have McCaffrey over him too.
I would too, and I would have James Cook over him. That's just my opinion.
Oh my God, bro.
And the part of the list that bothers me the most, Alvin Kamara's washed. Mixon, washed.
I'm with you
Mixon
on the
had a good
last
year
two
last
as
year.
well. Mixon is when I think about Joe Mixon, I think about like you guys are baseball fans. They have the stat wins above replacement,
Yeah.
and it's how much better you are than just your average MLB player. I feel like Joe Mixon is replacement player running back. Like he's fine. He'll get you what's blocked. He'll catch a couple passes. He's okay at blocking, but like Joe Mixon over Breece Hall? No.
Nope.
Alvin Kamara over Kyron Williams? No.
Nope.
Either one of them over Kenneth Walker? No.
Here,
Kenneth Walker can't stay healthy, though. That's not a good one.
And Alvin Kamara and Joe Mixon can?
Well, Kamara has been doing it for years, and he was healthy for a long, long time.
I mean,
if you want to talk current, that's fine. I mean, I don't mind taking those last two guys off the list for the guys you named. I just don't think Kenneth Walker is earned top 10 when he can't play 10 games.
Also, I'm going to have Aaron Jones over those two as well. And he's a Viking, so you can't say, oh, it's because he was a Packer. No. I would have
Aaron Jones, I would have agreed with you before last year. He did not look like the same player last year.
Can we get back to Moran saying that James Cook is better than Jahmyr Gibbs?
Mm-hmm.
What? What are you saying? This, the ultimate hater opinion. I'm so surprised you didn't mention Josh Jacobs being right behind Derrick Henry and Saquon.
Josh Jacobs is better than Jahmyr Gibbs. That's a given.
That I do not agree with.
That's
better at what, Moran? Better at what? Seriously, better at what?
Everything.
Catching the ball?
Everything.
Catching the ball? No. Running the ball? No. Being elusive? No. Faster? No. Better at what? What's he better at?
You were just talking that this player has done this for so long and blah, blah, blah. Jahmyr Gibbs has only been good for a year or 2 years.
He's been good since his foot touched the grass, bro.
Sorry.
And about the splitting carries thing, sorry for having a great number 2 running back, something the Packers would know nothing about because the mayor of Door County, A.J. Dillon, you want to talk about wins above replacement? He would be in the negative. He'd be like the Mendoza line, to bring up another baseball reference.
Why are we talking about A.J. Dillon?
Because it gives context as to why Josh Jacobs had to carry the entire offense last year, which Jahmyr Gibbs could have easily done, by the way. He just didn't have to, and he did actually do when David Montgomery went down.
Oh, okay.
Don't talk about Jahmyr Gibbs, bro. He should be number 2 on that list.
Okay, first of all, Emmanuel Wilson was actually really good for us.
Who?
Emmanuel Wilson. If you don't know who he is,
who is that?
That's fine. If you don't watch football, I'm sorry, I can't help you there.
We gotta get him. We gotta get him the TV, Moran. Tell him, give it to him, baby.
I mean, the thing is too. We talk, bro. You know what makes me sick about Lions fans? You have the number 1 running game in football. I'm gonna keep bringing this up, and oh my God, Jahmyr Gibbs. Oh baby, I will marry you, Jahmyr. But then when it comes to it, what does he do? You guys can't hold the lead with your running game. So what did it matter?
Talk to the Bears head coach who stops running the ball on 3rd and 1. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh,
we have the same issue.
Now it's the Bears head coach.
Yep.
Running the balls for losers. Anyway.
Yeah. Man, I can't, bro.
Listen. I'm even okay if you want to have Bijan above Gibbs. That's your opinion. It's not mine.
What do you mean you're okay? It's a fact.
I'm okay with it.
You don't have to be okay with it. It is.
It's not a fact at all. I can make an argument for Gibbs being number 2 on that list. I'm not going to put him above Saquon. I'm going to give that respect where it's due. But I'm taking Gibbs over Derrick Henry tomorrow. I don't care who you ask.
Oh my God.
Derrick Henry's like 32. I don't want it.
I gotta say, I'm kind of on Ryan's side here. If
Wait,
it was for 2025,
we said for 1 year, right? What does age have to do with it?
I mean,
age has a lot to do with it.
The wheels tend to fall off quick at the running
He's
back
not going to get old. He's already old.
Yeah. I mean, and Derrick Henry might very well run for 2,000 yards again. That's very possible. But if I were to bet on one guy for 2025, I'd bet on Jahmyr Gibbs before I bet on Derrick Henry, which I've been betting against Derrick Henry in fantasy for 7 years. He's kicked my teeth down my throat for 7 years. Let's make it 8. Who cares? I mean, we're fine.
We'll see how it plays out.
I just think this is a fun list when you get to see what NFL execs think of players. I was surprised to see Gibbs over Bijan and CMC. I personally wouldn't have that. I have no issue, like Ryan said, if you wanted to put Gibbs at number 2, I could see it. I think CMC's got just a better track record. Obviously he's got the injury concerns, but, he's just as explosive, better catching passes out of the backfield. Bijan seems like a more sturdy, every down back, but that's becoming more rare in the league, so who knows? I actually think James Cook is kind of overrated. I think he's fine.
No, I like James Cook. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say I would have Jonathan Taylor ahead of Josh Jacobs. Just purely as a running back, my opinion. I think it's close.
Yeah. I mean, you can make that argument. Jonathan Taylor 2 years ago was dominant. He's had a little bit of a injury bug / he's on a really, I don't even want to say a bad offense, but that offense is just underwhelming these past couple years.
Inconsistent for sure.
Yeah, and he suffers with that for sure.
Doesn't catch a lot of passes.
Well, it doesn't help that his quarterback can't throw passes, so there's that part too.
That is tough for sure.
So I just want to throw out there, when you're talking about yards per carry, the 2 running backs ahead of Jahmyr Gibbs on this list were also ahead of him in that, with Derrick Henry at 5.9 and Saquon at 5.8. Jahmyr Gibbs at 5.9. It was insane last year.
Christ.
It was insane. But Jahmyr Gibbs had 5.6 right behind them. So, I mean, if you give Jahmyr Gibbs 350 carries, he's going insane.
I mean, he's going to the hospital. But
that's a big if. That's the point. That's why no one. Okay.
He hasn't shown to have an injury bug like that, though. So I don't think that's fair to say.
But I just think that's just physics, bro. He's 205 pounds soaking wet. You give a guy like that over 300 carries, it's gonna bang him up.
Yeah, but thankfully we don't have to. That's the beauty of it.
Absolutely. I'm not using that as a criticism. I think Gibbs is electric. Very few players in the league that are, more dynamic with the ball in their hands. It's just two-headed monster is the way of the future, especially when you have a dude who can carry the load like Monty can.
Oh, 100%. I don't think having a one back or one receiver, one running back type offense is smart. I don't think it is. I wouldn't want that as a team.
It depends on the running back, though, because, I mean, the Eagles did just win it doing exactly that. But they have Saquon, right? You can do that.
Yeah, and they have a quarterback that runs a lot in short yardage situations. That's so, true. It takes a little bit of stuff off of his plate.
Similar to the Ravens with Henry and Lamar.
No, exactly. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that was the list. Let us know in the comments, who did ESPN forget? Are we crazy? Do people like Joe Mixon? Is he not just average Joe Mixon?
I will say, just real quick to close that off, the last 2 names on that with Mixon and Kamara are crazy. You know what name was left off? Was Devon Achane. That's a little bit... Bro, Achane is very, very good.
Yeah, but injury concern, and he's Jahmyr Gibbs light. No, I'm good.
He is Jahmyr Gibbs light. I think that's fair. That's a fair take.
I'm good with him being off a top 10 list. He doesn't deserve that yet.
I don't know, man.
I swear, you can even sneak... I started doing some fantasy research, and his splits with and without Tua are wild.
Yeah.
Under 2 yards a carry without Tua.
That's not fair, bro. What is it? There's only probably 2 running backs in the league when they have a 10-man box or 9-man box. What are they supposed to do?
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor. We just talked about it. Right? I agree.
That's why Jonathan Taylor's a freak. But
being on the right offense is everything. Derrick Henry was doing it with Will Levis, and
also the Dolphins' offensive line is horrendous.
Yeah,
it's a bad unit, as they say in the business.
Yeah, it's very bad, but yeah,
heck of a bad unit. All right, boys, moving on. Those weren't the only rankings to come out this week. PFF, Pro Football Focus, who, I like their stuff a lot, but sometimes I'm I don't know if I really understand this. A lot of nerds over there, so shout out to them. They're grinding the tape, grinding their dicks down to a nub. Love that for them. Just grinding out there. They came out with some offensive line rankings, and your boy was a little stunned at where his team ranked. So, starting from, we'll just kind of run through the NFC North teams here. It was an expansive list. The Eagles were number one, obviously. Shout out to the Eagles, Jeff Stoutland. But as far as the NFC North goes, the Packers came in 14th. The Lions came in 13th, which felt low in the moment, but then when I thought about, losing Ragnow, losing Zeitler, I was like, okay, I guess they did lose some guys, got some young guys filling in. The Vikings came in at 7, and if you notice, I'm going in reverse order. I have not mentioned the Bears yet. The Bears came in at 4, which I'm not really sure how to process that.
Matt, let me help you. Let me help you. Can I ask you a question? Did the Bears not allow the most sacks in the NFL last year?
They did?
They did. So to go from that to 4 is ultimate offseason champion talk.
This is why the PFF rankings are horrendous. Because what PFF does, the Bears signed a bunch of free agents. They traded for a bunch of guys on the line. They took their rankings and they put it into a little computer system. And of course, when their rankings were high last year, they're going to be high in their little computer ranking system. And they came out with 4th. PFF is fucking garbage. Excuse my language. I cannot stand PFF. I like them for little things like, I don't know, like linebacker to get quickest off the edge or something. Like something real dorky. But like, I don't know if you guys know how averages work. When you put a lot of high numbers in something and then you divide, it's still going to be a high number, So
I'm not licensed. I wouldn't know. But so we thought it would be fun. And for the record, when I saw the Bears in 4, immediately I was just like, oh God, Joe Tooney's going to get hurt. Drew Dalman's going to get hurt. Jonah everyone's going to get hurt. Like, I can't even bring this up to anyone. It's going to just be a disaster. The Bears cannot have a top 5 O-line. Maybe it works out. That would be great.
They are not allowed.
We thought it would be fun to do our own group positional rankings among NFC North teams. So we've got a little bit of time to kill. We figured we've got 4 categories. We'll try to get to them all today. Maybe we'll push a couple to next week or the week after. Next week, teaser, we have a very, very, very special guest for the people.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to know first. Actually, you know what? I'll kick us off. I had my online rankings from 4 to 1. Not actually the same as PFF. I had the Packers 4th. The Vikings 3rd, the Lions 2nd, and fuck it, I put the Bears first, because when am I ever going to get to do that with the Bears O-line before the season starts? So, in like descending order, Bears, Lions, Vikings, Packers. Ryan, how does that stack up to how you had your O-line rankings?
So, almost the same. We had a couple switched around. I also have the Packers 4th. I just don't think the Packers have that standout offensive lineman that the 3 other teams do.
Yeah, Jenkins isn't good.
He's fine. He's just not
he's fine.
Elite,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We have the Bears at 3. That's as high as I'm willing to go before I see that work together.
Which is more than fair in my opinion.
Like, here's what I think, bro. Just talking about the Bears for a second. I predict that it's going to be such a slow start for not only the offensive line, but just the team. I think the Bears are going to start bad, like 1-4 or something, and then really just come along as the year goes on. There's just so many moving pieces with that team, especially the O-line.
A lot of change for sure.
It's really hard. And a new rookie head coach. So I put the Lions number 2. I had us number 1, but I crossed it off and put 2 because we did lose Ragnow and Zeitler, which is big. But I think that we still have Panay. We still have pieces that are okay. And I put the Vikings 1 because honestly, I didn't know who to put number 1. And I think the Vikings have the least overturned O-line heading into next year. I like Christian Darrisaw a lot. I think he's actually extremely underrated. So I put them number 1.
The Vikings had a decent amount of turnover on their line as well, right? Interior, because they signed Ryan Kelly to play center, and the dude from the Colts, the guard, Will Fries, French Fries.
Yes,
Shout out
and they
to
drafted.
French Fries.
Didn't they draft a first rounder offensive lineman?
Very possible. I don't remember.
Donovan
off
Jackson.
the
That's
top
who
of
it
my head.
was.
Oh,
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Ohio State. Yep.
So, yeah, I guess you're right. I guess there has been a lot of turnaround. I don't know, man. It's such a hard unit to rank. I just had to
For
pick
sure.
someone one.
We don't know dick about O-line play, as you know, a couple dudes not grinding the tape as much as the nerds at PFF, but they gave me a shot to put the Bears at number 1, so I had to take it. Moran, I hope that you have been just time-stamping this episode, because come week 12, when Ryan and I both had the Packers as the worst offensive line in the league, that really feels like something that could come back to look so stupid.
It's because I think you guys only watch your teams. And the reason I say that is the team that allowed the least sacks in the NFC North was the Packers. The team that allowed the second least sacks in the NFL was the Packers. The team that hasn't lost any offensive linemen but added a few, the Packers. So, yeah, you guys can talk all you want. I'm not going to rank the Packers number 1. They don't deserve that. The Lions do because of what they did last year. But the Lions also have my grandma and my aunt starting on the line now. So we'll see what happens. But
Shout out to your aunt, though. She can block.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll go get her.
Yeah, but my rankings are the Lions, the Packers, the Bears, and the Vikings. And like I understand the Bears. They're cute. Like they might be, like they literally might always be the offseason champs. They may never lose that title. So I'll give it to them. I'm going to give the Lions number 1 because they had the best run game in football last year. And they held leads when they had the best run game in football. I'm joking. They didn't do that. But they have a really good offensive line. And their run game is very good. And I'm telling you right now, you guys can timestamp this. If the Lions finish out of the top 10 from offensive line, a lot of people are going to be calling for Jared Goff's job because he's going to look very bad. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, no, I mean, the knock on Goff, right, has always been like, get pressure up the middle. Lions lost a lot of dudes on the interior. The Texans were able to do that for a half, and, I mean, Goff looked lost. So I certainly think that, Goff might have an adjustment, but who knows, Lions got some new dudes calling plays. Maybe they lean more on the run game. That's probably what I would do. Run game, quick screen, short passes, Amon-Ra. But yeah, it'll be interesting.
And because I'm getting yelled at the producers, my rankings are the Vikings in 4th, the Bears in 3rd, the Packers 2nd, and the Lions 1st.
Fair.
Just wanted to clarify.
I like it. Also, now that we're talking about it, I kind of just think I don't even need the Bears to have the 4th best offensive line. If they have the 13th best offensive line, I'll feel awesome. I'll be like, yo, those guys are so above average, it rocks. Like,
but Matt,
I don't even know what that's like.
Going back to the Bears allowing the most sacks last year, how much of that was due to Caleb holding the ball too long and just being a rookie? To be fair to the O-line. Okay. I just want to be fair to them because that doesn't always mean that the O-line is like the worst in the league. A lot of times that's a quarterback issue too. So I just wanted to be fair to Caleb and the line.
So that's what kind of like it makes you feel good as a Bears fan, but it also makes you feel bad as a Bears fan because not only do you need your offensive line to be better, you need your quarterback to be better. So you're relying on 2 things to make the line better. And it could go very bad.
Yeah, but I don't know if a lot of Bears fans are feeling bad about Caleb, though. Like, that's what a rookie's supposed to do. It's supposed to take them long to process, and they hold the ball, and you got your offensive guru incoming. So
yeah, but it's not.
Caleb, he spent a lot of time last year, and, he needed to because, the play calling was so bad and the line was so bad. But he spent, a lot of time trying to play hero ball, which leads to a lot of sacks and sometimes it's like, do I get sacked or somehow he didn't throw a lot of picks, which like in turn, I took a lot of sacks because I held the ball too long. I didn't throw it up, which is great, but also you took too many sacks. But yeah, the line was atrocious. I mean, there was plays where there was just two guys blocking no one. It was just, what was it? Coleman Shelton has got some tape out there that is just atrocious.
Hey, can you do that face again, please?
Which one?
How are they blocking, guys?
Just like they were just. Check us out on the YouTube to see my facial expressions. It was disturbing for sure.
Hey, can I ask you guys something for real? Like, why do the Packers have to do so much?
I couldn't find disturbing for sure.
Here we go, Siri again.
Why? What's on your watch, dude?
Why do the Packers have to do so much to impress you guys? It's so weird.
Ron, it's not that. It's that they do so little and you think they're like Hall of Fame worthy.
But even when I give you stats like they're the second best team in sacks allowed, like it just goes over your head like it's no big deal.
It's not no big deal. I mean, I think it's a good line.
Well, coming from you, they have nobodies and they have no superstars.
But I also think, Moran, it's fair to say that, so the Packers took the second least amount of sacks, you said. I would bet that they also finished really low in pass attempts because they ran the ball a lot, which to their detriment. And granted, there was, 3 or 4 Malik Willis games where you had to hide him. So he's not going to take a lot of sacks if he has 11 pass attempts. And Jordan Love was banged up, so he couldn't really move. So you have a good head coach. He was calling a lot of quick stuff because he didn't want your quarterback to get hit. So saying offensive line being bad doesn't necessarily mean your QB will take a ton of sacks. Your QB not taking a ton of sacks doesn't necessarily mean your line was good. It certainly helps, right? But you guys didn't throw a ton of passes.
That was well said. And honestly, with Josh Jacobs, there was a time last year where he legit carried you guys. He was getting 25 plus attempts rushing, and Jordan Love would have 18 pass attempts. And Malik Willis, like Matt mentioned, was throwing the ball 12 times when he started. So context means a lot, bro.
And that's not a knock. That's not an insult.
That doesn't mean your line is bad. Yeah.
That's like Matt LaFleur coaching winning football. My quarterback can't move
I want to be that guy today. So, with that being said, when you guys talk about the receivers' numbers and the lack of the numbers, why isn't that ever brought up?
Because, Moran, why do you think you're not throwing as much?
It has nothing to do with the receivers.
I don't really...
That has nothing to do with the receivers? Why you're not throwing so much? That's a crazy statement.
Last year, when I predicted, and yes, I predicted that we were going to sign Josh Jacobs, I told you that I want to abuse him. Yeah. And I didn't think that we would. And because we did, our receivers are not going to have numbers like they did. But that's a little segue. Go ahead, Matt. Go do what you got to do for the next ranking.
Well, I was just going to say, Moran, when we are not critical, but we just think the Packers receiver room is lackluster. That's not a stats thing. I watch football with my eyes. Dontavian Wicks can't catch. Christian Watson is really big and really fast, but he's either injured, grabbing his hamstring, or dropping the ball. Jaden Reed, really good player. Not going to say anything. He's like a Debo light.
I know why you're not saying anything. We'll talk about it. It's okay.
But I mean, we're never throwing numbers in your face as to why the Packers pass catchers are underwhelming.
I'll give you a number. The Packers were 3rd in wide receiver or drop passes last year.
Yeah, I know that.
The Packers were 3rd in drop passes last year.
I know that.
And somewhere in the 20s in attempts. That should tell you everything you need to know about your receiving core.
There you go.
And we still had more receiving yards than the Miami Dolphins with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill.
Oh, when Tua missed half the year and they...
He didn't miss that much. He didn't miss that many.
All right.
Jordan Love missed games too.
If your bar is the Miami Dolphins... We're on a totally different conversation.
With receivers, yeah, that could be a good bar. What's wrong with that?
Okay. And Skylar Thompson.
What a segue, boys. That's what they call a segue in the business. So we're going to move on to pass catchers next. So we are grouping wide receivers and tight ends here into one position group. Ryan, I want to start with you. Let's run down your pass catchers, NFC North edition, starting with number 4 through number 1.
This is a very easy ranking. I can't picture anyone else having a different ranking than me. Packers 4. That was the easiest one. Packers are 4.
That was the easiest one of this whole list.
By far.
All these position groups.
Yeah, you don't have a number 1 receiver, and if you do, it's like highly debated. They're just number 4. Bears are at 3. The Bears receiving core isn't even that bad, honestly. I'll take DJ Moore and Rome and Cole Kmet and Loveland. I think that's like solid, but it's just that the 2 ahead of them are just better. I put the Lions at number 2, and I love Amon-Ra. I love our receiving core with Laporta and J-Mo. I think it's great, but I think the Vikings have to undeniably be number 1. You have the best receiver in the game in Justin Jefferson. You have Jordan Addison, who's a top-tier wide receiver too.
Soon to be suspended.
Yeah, maybe that would change the rankings actually. And Hawkinson is still a very good tight end. They're number 1 for me. Not by much, but they are.
Who finishes with a better career, TJ Hawkinson or Sam Laporta, Moran?
Laporta. Oh, sorry.
I say Laporta because the Lions won't have a second receiver in 2 years.
Ryan, you think Laporta?
100%.
I have no idea. I just thought it was a fun question.
Honestly, I like Hawkinson too. Like I think he's good, but he just somehow he always leaves you wanting more. You know, like his time in Detroit was just so like that, where he would have. I remember his first game ever as a rookie as a Lion against Arizona. He caught like 2 touchdowns, like 10 passes. I was like, oh my god, this guy's amazing.
Drop all your fab on him.
Yeah, and then he just like never kind of got there again. But he's good. He's just not. I don't know. I think Laporta's got it.
Ryan, my list for pass catchers is the same as yours. I do have the Bears and Lions flipped, though. I have the Packers at 4, the Lions at 3, even though I do think the Lions have the best receiver, Amon-Ra, the best pass catcher of the group. I'll give you that. I would take the depth of the Bears pass catchers.
Better than Jefferson?
Between Lions and Bears, I mean.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
I almost logged off.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
I feel like the Bears overall, and I'm not going to fight you, 2 and 3 is super, super close. Same tier for me. And then, I think the Vikings have, the best wide receiver on the planet and then pieces that complement him well. So I went Packers at 4 for pass catchers, Lions at 3, Bears at 2, and then the Vikings at 1. Moran, same list for you?
So I just want to ask something. So far with these rankings, we have the worst offensive line, we don't have a second running back, and we have the worst receiving room, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. All right. Just wanted to make sure. I'm gonna fucking chop and cut this episode so much. I cannot wait. But anyway,
just chop it up.
So 4, I'm going with the Bears. They have I'm sorry. Yeah, 4, I'm going with the Bears. They have a quarterback that hasn't proven anything. They have a new coach. They have a brand new offensive line. And that's what I'm doing. Okay? Number 3.
Can I ask what that has to do with the pass
Yeah, that wasn't
catchers?
about the pass catchers.
Because the quarterback has to get the ball to the receivers. So I'm going to factor in the quarterback that I think is going to be either the 3rd or 4th worst in the division.
But as a unit, do you think the Bears have the worst receiving core in the division?
In order to do your job as a receiver, the other factors matter.
Okay.
Fair enough.
If I want to rank the top trash men, I have to pick cities that have the most trash.
Okay.
Shout out to Philadelphia. You see that? Their garbage men are on strike.
Oh, that mayor is wild.
Yeah,
And then the mayor said, "Hey, we're gonna need you guys to drop off your trash at a set location." What?
Yeah, okay. I'll get right on that, Mayor.
That seems like a fair ask, honestly.
It's not a fair ask. They
nobody's gonna do that,
They're on
Matt.
strike.
Nobody's
Brother,
gonna do that.
They pay taxes to get their trash thrown away.
Correct.
You're gonna put dirty trash in your vehicle
Nobody's
with your
gonna do
children that sit in the vehicle? No, I'm
Brother,
good.
what else are you going to do with it? Just
Leave
pile
it
it up on the street?
Just sitting on puddles of garbage juice in your driver's seat? No thanks.
It's a public street, and my kids don't eat off that street. I'm good.
Honey, put that extra trash bag right in the car seat. That'll work.
Literally.
What if this strike lasts for like months though?
Figure it out.
Sorry.
I don't know. Shout out to Garbage Men, though. Very underappreciated.
I didn't know
Always
Matt
try to
was a
find my
stinking
guys, give them a
commie.
water.
FITFO, figure it the fuck out. Like, it's very simple.
Bro, garbage
Yeah.
is such an essential thing that a city takes care of. Like, when
I
you
know.
don't have it, we all take it for granted.
I know, 100%. When I was a kid, that's what we did. I grew up in Chicago. We brought our garbage bag and our recycling like to the garbage plant or whatever. I remember going with my dad. True story. My dad, I know he's been watching live. I don't know if he's watching. Maybe I have the details of this messed up a little, but we used to drop off our recycling at this like industrial park. And then right next to it, there was a fishing pond with these massive fish. And we would fucking throw out lures. And my dad was trying to get us to fish. We didn't like take them or eat them or anything. Shout out, Dad. But you would like reel these in and you would just throw your line out, catch a fish. Throw your line out, catch a fish. You would go for half an hour, you'd catch 20 fish. It was amazing. All right, Moran. Sorry. Back to you. Your
Speaking
pass
of garbage,
catcher
why don't you go ahead and give your Packers wide receiver today?
Got him.
Wow, that wasn't the most predictable
Let's
thing
go.
ever. Anyways, Bears 4, Vikings 3. And before you guys jump on me, it just has a lot to do with the quarterback. I don't know what I'm going to get out of McCarthy. He could be very good. He could be very bad. Number 2, I'm going to put the Detroit Lions. And the reason, again, their offensive line, I don't trust this year. Even though I rank them number 1, I just think that the offensive line is going to fall off. But, and I don't trust Jared Goff with a bad offensive line. I just don't. And again, we might cut this, and by week 12, like you said, I might look like an idiot. It's fine. But
Oh, you're for sure.
I think you're already there, brother.
that's fine.
You're
That's
already
fine.
there.
I love my offense, and it is my offense. I am part owner of the Green Bay Packers. I have the certificate upstairs. But yeah, I love my pass catchers. I love Golden. I love our tight ends. I love our receivers. I love our quarterback.
Bro,
so it is,
Moran?
and we have and this goes without being said. We have the best receiving core in football. So it is what it is.
Is the best receiving core in football in the room with us right now? Like,
What do you mean?
where is this come? Moran found such a bullshit way to group the whole offense into this very simple question. Who has the best pass catchers in the division? Moran's talking about Jordan Love and Jared Goff and our offensive line and blah, blah, blah.
Because
don't have receivers.
Brother, we don't have we don't have receivers. Our offensive line stinks. Our running back only is one running back, and then our quarterback sucks dick, but we're still a top 10 offense in football. I don't know how this works.
And who was top 1, Moran?
Good coach.
And what did you do with that?
The same thing you did, but who was top 1 if you're going to use top 10?
No, I'm just saying.
We were, and who was right behind us? Minnesota.
Okay.
So you're not being truthful with yourself. Be honest.
Okay, Minnesota was number 2. They have a whole new quarterback. I don't know if you realize this.
Oh my God, it doesn't matter.
All right, Moran, here's the thing.
Yeah.
We're ranking pass catchers. So, like,
brother, the pass catchers have a lot to do with your quarterback.
Just rank them in a vacuum then.
I'm going to
rank
ask you
them
a
by
question.
themselves.
The Vikings called the Packers.
Yeah.
And they said, we will trade you Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, and KJ Osborne for Matthew Golden, Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks, or Christian Watson. We don't even
doesn't
care.
matter.
You just pick one.
Brother,
and Tucker
Let him
Kraft.
finish.
Are you pulling the trigger on the trade?
absolutely, because Justin Jefferson with Jordan Love's going to have 3,000 yards. That's
Oh
a dumb
my
question.
God, it doesn't matter.
That's a dumb
That's not the
question.
But that means the Vikings have better pass catchers.
Brother,
Do you understand?
no, I don't. Because if you give me Justin Jefferson and then you give me Mike Williams from USC, Charles Rogers, rest in peace, and Henry Ruggs, I'm going to still accept the trade because Justin Jefferson's a top 3 receiver ever, probably, when it's all said and done.
Hence, the Vikings
But then
are above
how
the
could
Packers
they-
on the list.
Yeah!
You just
Because-
answered your own question.
Because the Vikings do not have Jordan Love. He asked me would I want Justin Jefferson on the Packers. Duh. Like what are we doing there?
I'm just
Now, if
not
you-
really
if
sure.
You got to give it to Moran and his unwillingness to back down from this garb take.
If you offered me the trade without Justin Jefferson, I'm taking the Packers receiver if that's what you're trying to do. But Justin Jefferson, I'll take with any combination.
Bro, I don't know if there's 4 receiving cores in the NFL worse than Green Bay.
Okay.
I
That's
really,
fine.
and I'm not
I don't
even
know
hating.
if
I think
there's
that's a
two.
factual statement. Yeah, like I think
Okay.
that's a fair and factual statement.
Okay.
Jaden Reed might have something, and I
Okay,
actually
so
like
can-
Matthew
He's a
Golden
really
a lot
solid
so
player.
far, but like it's just
Okay,
not,
so-
bro.
So can I ask you something?
If you put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig, bro.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah,
Who's the Bears' number 1 receiver?
DJ Moore, who's
Okay,
better than
DJ
anyone the
Moore.
Packers have.
Hold on. What were DJ Moore's stats? Matt,
I imagine
want,
you have them at the ready. So
Oh,
go
I
ahead.
do. Matt, I want you to answer.
I could look them up, or you
Go
could
ahead.
just say them.
No,
that
we
would
got
be better
time.
podcasting.
We got time. Go ahead.
I don't.
We
really
actually
think
don't have
that's
time,
good
but keep on going.
podcasting. Could you just
Okay.
tell me what they are?
Yeah, of course I could. So
Thank
DJ
you.
Moore had about 980 yards, I think it was, give or take 10 or 20. He had between 130 to 150 targets. Okay? Jaden Reed had 860 yards with 75 targets. So what makes DJ Moore better? I'm confused.
The fact that his coaching was atrocious, so they just didn't draw up good plays. He was misused for 15 weeks.
So the target,
I
so the difference in the 75 targets, they were all just all over his head, like no catchable balls.
62% no catchable balls, 28% behind the line of scrimmage,
Okay.
and 1% I'll say maybe DJ Moore bad body language, maybe 2%.
I remember that.
But I don't. You're just throwing.
But you know, hang on.
You don't want to talk stats, and then you want to talk stats, and
hang
then
on.
you don't want to.
You know, DJ Moore at the very least has credit from years back. Like DJ Moore had a time where he was a very, very, very good receiver. And last year, like, call it what you will, it wasn't terrible, but he has a track record. Jaden Reed has never eclipsed 1,000 yards. Why are we
Okay.
talking about Jaden Reed like he's like Randy Moss or something?
I'm not talking
so
about him like-
confused by this.
I'm not talking about him like he's Randy Moss.
I don't know.
It's
bro.
just we're
Yeah,
talking
Ron,
about.
no one on your receiving core has done
In
anything.
2023, DJ Moore had 136 targets and 1,400 yards. I don't think Jaden Reed has 1,400 yards in his career. I don't think any Packer does.
That's fine.
So at some
with,
point you
I'm
should
just
have.
saying.
so with what you guys say, and then you guys give the rankings or the records in the division. Where'd you put the Packers at last week? I can't remember. Second,
For what?
the division records.
Yeah, probably second.
Probably second. That makes
Maybe my
sense.
second.
Maybe first.
So how are we bad at every position, but we're
Ron,
going to be
but
second?
You're getting like all defensive. Like it's not that you're bad at every position. Like we haven't even gotten to the quarterback and running back yet.
All right,
Your
that's
wide
fine.
receiving core has objectively not been good.
Okay, that's
That's
fine.
the nicest way I can say it.
All
Objectively.
right, move on. That's
All
fine.
right.
Move on.
Fine.
I honestly think the pass catcher discussion was so good. We've been rolling about 45 minutes. I say, what do you guys think? We save quarterback and running back for a future week.
We can do that, but I'll already give you guys your rankings. Packers 4, Minnesota 3, Bears 2, Lions 1.
You're wrong.
Don't tune in next week. I already told you what's going to happen.
Well, stop telling people not to tune into your podcast. Never do that.
Yeah, would definitely like for everyone to tune in, no matter what.
No, that's not true.
This past exchange, though, has really made me think, Moran, when Caroline Leavitt finally gets tired of being the press secretary for the Trump administration, you may have the in on this job with the way you're able to try to spin things. I think you might be in there.
It was a spin job.
We're
for sure.
gonna
guys are-
send Donald and Co a clip of this and get me that get me that Miran. Go get him over there.
You guys are just too black and white, and I just look at more things. Well, you know what? The beauty about this thing is come September, we'll see what happens.
We sure will. Week 1, baby. I can't wait.
Before we head out, I just wanted to. There was a point. This was It's been hotter than shit here for, 2 weeks or so. The temperature dropped fairly briskly on Sunday night, and I'm a big summer guy, right? I love summer. I do all my complaining in the winter. I don't complain when it's hot. I love it. But there was like a Sunday, I took my dog for a walk. It was like 9:45 p.m., and the temperature had dropped a lot. It was like a 68. Sky was a little gray. I did a big whiff. Boys, you could smell the football in the air. And I'm not here to wish away summer. I'm not trying to do that. I love summer, pool parties. I want to do it all. But just when if you just at the right time, there was a breeze from downwind, and I was like, ooh, that almost smells like week 1. My goodness. So hold out hope, folks. We're almost there. Enjoy your summer, but football is on the horizon.
Wow, that sounded like a fucking commercial, Muran. That was insanity.
That was the best thing Matt said all day.
I could smell it, Muran. It smelled like football, baby.
Hey, real quick, non-football related, what a wrestling week we got coming on. This week's wild.
Bro, I got a wedding I got to go to. I got 2 birthday parties to take my kid to on a Sunday.
People get married all the time, and they have a birthday every year. Move on.
I know, dude. It's going to be a lot of action. I'm going to have to probably, it's good. You can't get behind. I'm going to have to watch NXT before I go to bed. I'm going to have to watch Dynamite live. It's a lot of action, boys. And then I also saw, we'll talk about this offline, Muran, but as always, thank to everyone who tuned in. Follow us on the socials. We're at Honolulu Cheese Podcast on Instagram. We're at Honolulu Cheese Podcast on TikTok. Honolulu Cheese Podcast is our YouTube channel. Ryan's been doing an awesome job dropping YouTube videos. Ton of stuff there. Follow us on X as well at Honolulu Cheese Podcast. Moran's at m.hassan. I'm at Chung Diesel. We're still waiting on Ryan to make a Twitter. He says he can't do it. We think he's just got a burner. He's just like harassing Moran about his Seattle Supersonics takes. But yeah, no, next week, don't miss it. We've got a very special guest. I don't think we'll probably stream live next week just because of the guest. I don't think we want to throw a live stream on our guest. Maybe we'll talk to him or her. You never know. Could be.
Wait,
either.
Is that a secret? Can we just say who we're having?
No.
I'll give everyone a hint. It's someone you know. Maybe.
Whoa.
So I do want to say something real quick, and Ryan didn't ask me to say this or anything, and he knows, but Ryan, I do appreciate the hell out of you. I thankful that you do all these clips and these reels. I know you're on our ass, and we will do better, but we do appreciate you. So thank you.
Thanks, brother.
Ryan is in that ass in the jackpot.
Whoa,
MVP of the podcast.
Our ass is in the jackpot now, baby.
Ryan is not in any of my ass, but thank you, Ryan.
Call back.
Only metaphorically speaking.
All right, boys. Until next week with a very, very, very special guest.
All right. And with that, may your Kool-Aid stay blue.
And your head stay cheesy.
Bears. Thanks, everyone.
Peace
9
out.
weeks till football.
Later.